the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh,
that was good.
That was good.
Yeah, you hit that note.
That was good. You know why? Because I did my vocal exercises before I came in.
Did you?
Had a little sip of water. Some me.
Did you warmed up the voice?
I warmed up the voce. It's important to do. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another reclap of your favorite dance show, Dance Moms, right here at AFTERBUZZ TV. We are on episode 24, Abby Phobic. And who wouldn't be scared of Abby?
I'd be scared of Abby.
I would be also.
I used to be. I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Now that I kind of know her.
Yeah.
She's not as mean.
Well, you've interviewed her before.
Yeah, she's been to AFTERBUZZ quite a few times, and hung out with her outside of AFTERBUZZ. She's very fun. She's a fun lady. I actually got into like a tiff with some of our Twitter people.
Did you?
Because I was
What?
like defending her. They felt like I was defending her, and because people on Twitter, they talk about stuff,
voice their opinions.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's totally fine. But in my opinion, we're here and we're seeing the TV show and we're giving our opinions about a show. And a lot of people go a lot further.
They do.
Than the show.
They get very upset.
Yeah, they get very upset.
And I'm just like, oh, it's
okay.
It's okay. It's just,
Take it down a couple
show.
notches.
Yeah. Abby is not as bad as people make her out to be. I feel like everyone is gonna blow up my Twitter and comment below. I already got someone was like, please stop picking on Brooke.
I saw that.
We all know. I'm not picking on Brooke. I am merely stating the obvious when it came to Brooke. Will someone please send me that Brooke video again with her faces? I'm going to get in trouble for that. Anyway, let's go right into this episode. We have a new member joining us, another guest star part for this episode.
Wait, should we introduce ourselves?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
yeah.
gosh. I just went right into it. Like, you guys know us
You're
already.
just really excited for the episode.
Yeah.
I am. Thank you for that. Well, of course, I'm your host, Tony Moore. And to my far left, we have...
Candice Camacho, everyone.
And I'm Lexie Hammesfahr.
And holding it down in the booth with all that hair. Y'all can't see it, but the hair is all around and working. Nick, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us again.
Of course.
He has that very, absolutely kind of a voice.
It's very soothing, though.
You're welcome.
Very official.
Yeah, very official, very professional.
That
you are
mean-
back there.
That
Very
means
professional.
follow all the rules.
Pretty much,
on this panel.
Yeah.
I don't follow. I make up my own rules. They're called the Tony rules, and Nick shall follow them too.
I'm laughing there.
Right. All right. So now let's get into the episode. Now that we are re-familiar with ourselves, we have a new member. Jade and her mother Lori are back to do a guest starring spot on this episode.
Yeah.
Lori owns 2 dance studios, and my first thought was, why are you here? Was that only me that thought that?
She's there because her daughter has a chance to be on national television and get a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad you're truthful, Candice, because, we all know that that's what people are there for.
Yeah.
She could get endorsements out of that, commercials. I mean...
Be the next Maddie.
Yeah. So what if Lori has 2 studios in Timbuktu or wherever she... Where...
She's trying to get her daughter in the next Sia video.
And the show is a showcase in itself. I mean,
It really is. It's this show is definitely a little platform for dancers.
to catapult.
Yeah.
Look
push
what
these little girls
look what it's
forward.
doing for Maddie and for
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie
Right.
and Asia, who made an appearance last season. Was it last season? Yeah.
Yes, on Dance Moms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Asia, first appeared on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, then on Dance Moms. Now she has her own show
Her own show.
called Raising Asia.
She does.
So, I mean, they're just building little stars.
And it's a great
Yeah.
opportunity.
It's
Yeah. It's sensational.
I would like to put this out in the universe to the executives at Lifetime. Tony Moore, Candice Camacho, Lexie H, because we all know Lexie has a very difficult last name.
It's Hammesfahr, everyone. If you
Oh,
can't,
that's right. Him is far. Like him is far. Like him.
like
all
the
way
ham
over
is
there.
far away.
Him is far away. That's right. I
Yeah.
remember that now.
I told people that in college. Never forgot it.
See? And now I would never forget it. Lexie, him is far.
There you
That's
go.
all right. See?
Ham.
Him.
Ham.
Ham
Like a
is far.
pig.
Oh, that's
Ham.
even
Like
better.
Thanksgiving ham.
Now I feel lazy because I'm like, ooh, ham is far.
And you love.
See?
You love ham. Bacon,
I do love-
ham.
I love all
you
that.
seem like a meat guy.
I try to be healthy though and eat turkey bacon.
You were talking about mashed potatoes last week
I love mashed
and dipping a
potatoes.
burger in them.
Executives at Lifetime, we here would love to make an appearance on Dance Mom so that we too can start our careers as hosts and entertainers.
That would be lovely.
I'm just gonna put that out there.
I'll stand in the studio and just be like, we have Maddie on the floor now.
Oh, it'd be like an announcer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fun.
That would be fun. I like that. That's a good idea.
Mackenzie's running out of the room.
You'll give stage directions.
And I could be the stage manager.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're on to something.
Yeah.
Lifetime.
I could be the
execs, Lifetime.
MC announcing all the awards.
There you
Ooh.
go.
And Francisco did that.
Yeah, I have a very loud voice.
Do-
I can have a loud voice. I won't demonstrate that right now, but
no, because we don't want to hurt our tender ears.
that's right.
We keep straying. But so we go into the pyramid, which is now a triangle and a dot. Not a triangle. A square and a dot. Clearly I was not good in geometry. So down at the bottom we have Chloe, which I thought was kind of weird because she was second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Shouldn't
I mean-
they've switched Chloe and Nia?
and Nia, that's
Yeah.
what I thought. I thought it should have been Nia then Chloe, but Nia holds down her spot on the pyramid.
Again.
She does.
But Nia got fourth, and this is the thing when it comes to Chloe, because there's been a lot of controversy with Chloe and how Abby treats her and all this. This is my take on the situation. I just kind of think that Chloe, and I'm sure someone's going to correct me, but this is just my opinion. Chloe was brought in to be a cast member of Dance Moms. So I think it's a little different with her because, and that's why we don't see her wearing Abby apparel or anything like that. I think she's just there for the show and not like an actual member of the Abby Lee Dance Company.
Well, that's what that message forum said a few weeks ago when you overslept.
I'm old.
That's right.
Yes.
We talked about that a little
I'm old
bit.
and ham is
But
far.
one of the girls on the message forum was saying that exactly that Chloe isn't an actual member of ALDC. She just has the contract for the show with Lifetime.
See?
Yeah.
So all those people who are like, Abby's being so mean to Chloe. That's why.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Chloe is a smart girl.
Yeah.
She's I can kind of sense that with her there. She's kind of
Her light's kind of dimmed.
yeah,
a
Yeah.
little bit.
her lights dim. Is she just showing up for her?
She's like, what's my call time?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay.
She's just like going through the motions, I
Yeah.
feel like, at this point.
What dance am I supposed to learn? All right, this
Okay.
is my mark.
All
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like that. So Chloe, then Nia, and then we had little Mackenzie, Mac Z, and then Maddie.
I was like,
Maddie's not at the top of the pyramid.
the golden
know.
child.
The girl who has appeared on Ellen and
Yeah.
the Sia video and
Which we are
17
constantly
magazine.
reminded of now.
Yes.
But she stroked her ego before, before they announced the top. Of course,
Yes.
she always gets
Yeah.
that little
Yes,
bit of like
who just
stroke.
appeared on the Ellen show. Clap, 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 clap.
Right.
But good for her. I mean, she's a talented dancer. We're not going to take that away from her. So of course, this platform is opening a lot of opportunities for her. So take them, especially while you're young.
Yeah.
Pay for college.
Go to
home.
college.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the big
Go
to
to college. I don't think they have homeschool for college.
Yeah.
Well, they have
Get a couple
University
degrees.
of Phoenix.
Do they have that in Pittsburgh?
It's online.
I know.
Oh.
No.
You don't know
saying.
University of Phoenix.
Oh, trust everybody know the
you
University
could
of
get
Phoenix.
your online management degree, stage managing.
I don't think I could have done
Maybe
online
not stage
college.
managing.
You probably can. You can.
I can do what?
What?
What'd you say?
You can do whatever you want to do. I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm
Sky's the limit.
I believe
It
in the
is.
secret.
And the secret is be like Maddie. All right. So then we had Kendall up at the top of the pyramid because she won overall last week. Good for her.
Yeah, that was
Beautiful.
deserved.
Well deserved.
Beautiful
well
girl.
deserved. Yeah.
Beautiful dancer.
She's blossoming.
She is.
So she's becoming a little force to be reckoned with. She just has to keep on a steady pace. Because a lot of times, you know, they can kind of waver a little bit. So it's like, yay, I'm at top, and not as good week. So.
It's exactly
Yeah.
like Abby said. You can't take it easy now. You've got to keep
You gotta
pushing
keep
yourself
pushing.
further. And
that's good advice, especially for a kid. Like, yeah, you're at the top, but that just doesn't mean you get to relax and rest. You know, people who
Right.
are in this business and are at the top of their game, they can't rest. You have to push even more and even because the
Yeah.
expectations are now
Get
that much
higher.
higher.
and it's so competitive in the
Very-
entertainment industry
and
in
there's-
general.
There's always someone waiting to take your spot.
Yep.
But most people would probably just sit back and relax a little bit. That's the way I feel when if I've lost like a couple pounds, I'm like, instead of like going and running more, I'll go get chocolate chip cookies because
See?
I'm like, I have a couple pounds.
I'm right with you. I'm more like, ooh, lost 4 pounds. Can you eat that
Pizza.
large pizza.
Ham.
Ham.
Cheat day.
Cheat week. Cheat week. That's me. All right, so now they are hopping on the magical school bus that will land them in Woodbridge, Virginia, to go to the Imagine National Dance Challenge. It's new. It's by the same person that does Star Power. I believe that's what they said. And all of a sudden, there's this big hoopla about Studio Blue. I remember them vaguely, but I just feel like the show keeps trying to find a rival for Abby, and they can't quite find someone
They can't
to
quite
rival with.
pull it off.
Yeah. You know what? And not to bring up another show, but I will anyway because they're both on Lifetime. I watch Bring It. And what I like about them is that they always seem to like announce their rivals. So like who they're competing against. And it's usually like the same, you know, kind of groups, different groups or whatever. And I feel like that's what Dance Moms is missing, like that constant group that's always competing with them. They tried to do that with the Candy Apples, but it keeps dissolving and then building back up and dissolving and building back up. And I feel like now we just need that rival to where we're always like, ooh, will this dance beat them this week, or are they going to take it this week? And kind of see both of the teams kind of
Consistency with the competition.
yeah, because right now we're just like, all right, Maddie's gonna probably be at the top, and they'll do a group dance.
Well, each week we don't know from week to week. Is it going to be the Candy Apples? Is the the new team going to come back on?
Yeah.
Is Maddie in? Is she out?
Yeah.
What new girl is Chloe going up against? So it's maybe they just like to have the different hoops.
Maybe it's just well, let's find a couple of hoops and rotate those.
Yeah.
So what the first thing right off the bat is once Studio Blue was announced, Abby already was saying that they're not going to win.
That was ridiculous.
And
Yeah.
I thought that was absolutely ridiculous too. And I thought that wasn't a way to start everything off. And then she decides to save the original group dance that she thought of for nationals. Now, I pose this question to you guys. Do you think Abby was scared of Studio Blue, so she, wanted to come up with something different? Or is it strategic? Do you think that she was like, no, let's save this, for, a different competition?
I think she was scared of Studio Blue, and I think that she was just using that as a cover-up. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think Abby is ever going to admit that she did something wrong, which clearly she does. She doesn't.
It seemed like that throughout this whole episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Candice?
I think that I just don't really see her being scared. I just don't know if she was going to save that to wow everybody at nationals. and she wanted everybody to see their performance here, and save like the amazing performance for nationals.
Yeah.
So maybe they see this technique, they see these turns, and then they're like, oh well, it wasn't, it was kind of down here, so they're not going to push themselves to go up here when the national competition is going to be up there.
Yeah.
I don't see her being scared.
Yeah. I don't know. She seemed a little rattled.
Yeah.
With Studio Blue, and some interesting decisions this whole episode, and we'll get to those. So then we have the assignments. They are doing a group number. She wasn't sure if everyone was going to be in it, which was kind of odd to mention. And then Jade and Chloe have a solo because they're going against each other. And then all of a sudden, Christy, my favorite. She then goes on and on about how like Chloe is always up against the new girl and how it's always Chloe and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Chloe has a solo, because if she didn't have a solo, you would complain about that. Now you're also complaining about, her always going up against the new girl, and, Chloe always gets the short end of the stick. It's like, Christy, why are you always trying to find something to be upset about?
She is. She's really like I just see her getting like more and more and more upset like every single episode, and more fed up, more hateful, more just completely over it.
Yeah, I see that too. And I mean, Lori was trying to be very sensible and say like, it's more about the dance skill and, and things like that. It doesn't have to do with
trying to find this like silver lining in the explanation. Yeah.
Christy was just too much. And you know what I like to tell Christy? Have several seats in Staples Center or Dodger Stadium, whichever one you like. Have them all.
I just almost feel like this is all working up to the fact that maybe Chloe isn't going to be on the show next season, and that maybe this is her last season.
Because Christy did even go pretty far later on in the episode, and she calls her a name. Yeah, but I'm not going to mention.
When hasn't she called her a name?
Well,
she tried to cover it up, but it was a poor cover up.
Yeah, it was witch.
But she really said
right.
B-I-T-C-H.
She said, yeah.
Yeah. I called you a witch. Who wastes their breath by calling someone a witch? That doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, she said, I am. I've got my broom.
Yeah.
But she hasn't lately called her a profanity name. Not for a couple episodes. She's saving it.
We're overdue now. So that's why she came out.
Next episode, it will hit the fan.
It will all hit the fan. So with the group dance that Abby originally was going to do being shelved, she's now scrambling to try to figure out a new dance. And she's heading towards this whole phobia thing. What are you guys afraid of? Just out of curiosity. Candice?
Lexie?
Needles and blood.
Needles and blood?
Yeah. My dad's a doctor, and literally he like has to be in the room with me when I get my blood drawn.
Really?
Wow.
I will get really flustered and almost pass out.
Oh my gosh. Candice, what are you afraid of?
Well, something similar, but the dentist.
Really?
Yeah, I had a really bad experience with a dentist.
Oh, don't say that. I'm getting my wisdom teeth out next Friday.
Oh, they put you to sleep. You'll be fine.
Yeah, wisdom teeth are fine. Like, it's literally like this, because I was very nervous too. I got my wisdom teeth taken out in December, and they put the anesthesia in, and you literally do this, and then they call your name, and it's done.
Well, everyone can check my Instagram next Friday, because I will have my mom film me.
Oh. Is she coming out to help you?
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be Lexie leaves the dentist.
Well,
I think I was a little loopy. My friend has videos of me. I vaguely remember though, but I just remember eating mashed potatoes.
Yeah, technology is so
love mashed potatoes.
I do, especially from KFC. Those things are amazing.
I have never had mashed potatoes from KFC.
They're so good.
You'll be fine.
Technology
is so great, and you won't feel a thing, and you'll wake up and you won't even know that it's happened.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I hope so.
I am actually afraid of the dark. I still have to have some sort of light source in a dark room. Yeah. It's only because I have a very vivid imagination. So if I'm sitting in a dark room and my eyes are open, I can start seeing like shadows and just stuff. So
you sleep with a night light on? Like a little lamp or...
I wouldn't say lamp. I would say light source, which means that like a light has to be turned on in the house somewhere so that I can see some sort of light.
Okay.
Or light shining in my window.
I'm the opposite. I like no light.
Under the covers?
Yeah, pitch black.
I can't do pitch black. I can't do that.
No. That's so cozy, though.
Although if it's pitch black, you can't see me. Me and my silly jokes. Okay, so to help Abby come up with the dance, she decided to have the girls do improv. Everyone started out great, but Mackenzie just could not.
She could not
get it together.
Pull it out of herself. I was surprised.
But we've seen this before. Like when her and Asia went up against each other, she did the exact same thing. Like she just couldn't
pull it out
and do something. And then they all laughed, and then I felt like it was a Carrie moment. They're all gonna laugh at you. And it's like she just got all sad. And then she pulled but I'm a kid, I can act like this. I really wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Like I could throw a fit in the middle of a store and go, I'm a kid, I'm allowed to do that, even though I'm a grown man. Do you think that would work?
It might work with you, Tony, since you're so adorable.
Yeah.
Thank you. So because of this fit that Mackenzie has, Abby decided to bench Mackenzie and take her out of the group dance. Now, is it me or I feel like this was very strategic. Like there was a plan and you had to somehow get rid of Mackenzie in order for other things to happen. So
are you saying she knew that she was going to choke with the phobia improv?
Something just seemed a little fishy.
Rehearsed.
Because for her to bench Mackenzie, her rising pop star, over the fact that she wasn't improving, which you already know because we've experienced this before, she kind of knew what she was doing.
Well, Abby her personality was just kind of off this episode. Like, and whenever drama came up, she just kind of seemed like she was just over it, not going to deal with it. And she just wasn't having Mackenzie crying.
Something seemed real fishy.
Something was
that.
fishy.
Very fishy.
Something was going on.
Once again, Christy goes on and on and on about the solos and how Jade has an advantage over Chloe because Jade was there all day learning her solo and blah, blah, blah. I'm Christy and I just want to have something to say.
We're starting to see this, I'm starting to see this over and over every episode, that just things are getting repeated.
Yeah.
So I've heard that same wording context in the last couple episodes about the solos.
Let's try the last couple of seasons. Seasons. Yeah. Chrissy is always, you don't do this for Chloe and you treat Chloe like this and blah, blah, blah. Well, Chloe has a different contract per lifetime. So.
Right.
That's
which
why.
We don't know.
Yeah. I just
the details.
I feel like when we understand the business side of this show, it would kind of shed light.
It would make more sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a reason that Christy's sticking around with her child because she's
money.
She's over it.
Yeah. During their solos, I did think it was rude for Abby to just not pay attention to Chloe.
That was so rude.
She didn't pay attention to her the whole time.
No. It was like
blatantly not paying attention.
It's like, oh, let me fix your costume. And then Chloe was just... They got to film me doing this, so it's part of the story, so I'm just going to keep going.
You smart little girl, Chloe.
Yeah.
Which she's a trooper for doing it.
Yeah. I feel like if it were me and knowing me and how I was at that age, I probably would have stopped and said, excuse me, hello. Okay, well then I'm going to go have a donut.
I don't think Chloe eats donuts, Tony.
How are donuts the answer?
Donuts are the answer to everything.
Are they?
Really? Not mashed potatoes?
Nope.
So the next time I have a problem, I can eat a donut and
it'll solve your problem.
Make it go away. Okay.
Those are the great things about donuts. They just bring a little happiness to you. That's food in general.
Pizza.
The more you know.
That's like that NBC ad.
I feel like I'm just... This is Tony's world here, and everyone just lives in it. All right. So, again, in my own little world, going back to the Dance Moms world. So there's this whole big thing about the girls competing in a teen division versus a junior division. What do you guys think? Do you think that it was good for them to not have Mackenzie and be in the teen division, or would they have been better off in the junior division?
Well, in the way of the outcome with winning versus losing, it would have been better to be in the junior category because 9 times out of 10 they probably would have won. Now, it's a good challenging thing for them to be in the teen group, but watching the numbers, like, it's really different to watch a grown, teenager than children. So they, it was unfair, but I mean, it's kind of, I can see positives for both, but if they want to win, they should stick with their own age category.
Yeah.
And I think for the point that Abby was trying to make about competing in the teens to avoid Studio Blue, I mean, she was wrong.
Yeah. That was asinine to bank the entire competition that Studio Blue was only going to have a number in the junior category when they ended up having the teen, but for all she knew they could have had 2 in the teen, 2 in the junior. She didn't know,
because companies usually come with like more than one performance to a competition,
right?
So
sorry, not that you guys are boring. I'm just tired.
We appreciate you coming in.
There's so many awkward moments during this show this week.
Thank you for not napping.
Yeah.
That's why. It's because I didn't nap, and I ate. Of course, I ate before I got here. So
take like a 5-hour next time.
Oh no, because I cannot be up all night. I'm not trying to do that. I gotta get some sleep at some point.
You have to make sure your light source is on.
Yes, so that I can sleep soundly.
I'm really getting to know you these last couple episodes, Tony.
Well, it's every now and then I like to share tidbits.
Yeah. Well, as a host, you're like peeling the layers. It's good.
It's true.
It's better to peel the layers than to just like throw all of me right at you. It might be too much. Might be. So I kind of think that Abby did kind of shoot herself in the foot regarding the whole teen junior division. I think that she should have left Mackenzie in and competed as they always do. And if you go up against Studio Blue, why not? Because again, it teaches the girls that this is the standard. And now you need to propel past the standard and be just as good, if not better, than what you're up against.
Correct.
Instead of trying to avoid it. You can't avoid competition. Like, we can't not go to an audition because Ryan Seacrest is there.
Well, that's a little bit of a drastic example.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, as hosts, we can't not go to an audition because we know that he's going to be there. And he's the pinnacle of hosts right now. Right. Or Mario. Or Maria.
Or Juliana.
All those.
You can't run away from the competition. You have to face it.
You have to face it. And you just have to do your best.
Yeah. Well, and at some point, I mean, they're going to be in teens within a year or two.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to face that competition. But I don't think under those circumstances in this situation, I don't think Abby should have put them in that place, in that predicament.
No.
She set them up to
fail.
Yeah.
And I feel like she realized that, and gosh, she has such a good poker face. She was just kind of like, I'm not going to admit that I'm sweating bullets under here.
I want to see her poker face, Tony.
Yeah. I mean, it's there.
I can't do the poker face.
I can't
I'm
either.
Like laughing
I'm a
over
horrible
here.
liar.
I wouldn't say that I'm a great liar. I'll leave it at that. Okay. I'm an actor, so of course I can.
You can.
I feel like I'm going to incriminate myself if I say something. Listen, okay.
You don't want to do that because.
No, but I will share this tidbit, and it's probably the wrong tidbit to share because we have people who, young people who are in school and everything, but I was in high school and I didn't have my project, and I knew I didn't have it, and I thought of this whole thing to do to make the teacher believe that I had it, but I just misplaced it or I left it. I did a fantastic acting job with that.
Did it work?
It did, actually.
She believed you?
She did.
Well, now you know the truth.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
If she's watching,
Right.
I lied. But
So you got to bring it the next day.
I did. It was such a, I gave myself a pat on the back because I calmly reached down in my bag knowing it wasn't in there. And then I did the whole, where? And then the whole sit back and think like, okay, so I woke up this morning, grabbed it, so it should be in here. And then it was like oh, maybe I left it in the car. And then I went and I was like, I think my project's in my car. So I actually walked to my car knowing it wasn't there. I actually looked through my car just in case anyone was watching. Came back, sat again and was like, it's not in my car. Oh my God, I was in such a rush. I left it on the kitchen counter. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I left it on the counter. And
that is impressive.
Yeah. And you did that whole thing with the poker face.
I did.
Yeah.
And then now here was a glitch in my plan, was that she was like, it's at home. I was like, yep. She was like, if I call your mom, she's gonna tell me it's there.
It's on the kitchen counter.
I was like, yep. So I had to be honest with my mom and say, and I told her the whole elaborate thing that I did, and the teacher called, and my lovely mother did lie for me and say, yep, it's sitting right here on the kitchen counter as I'm sitting at the computer frantically doing my
messaging.
Oh, Mom,
Yeah.
you have an awesome mom.
Yeah.
I do. But kids don't lie. Stay in school and turn your projects in on time. I can't believe I shared that story. Someone's now going to tweet me and tell me how they lied. Speaking of wonderful moments, how about that moment between the girls and how they were like, you know, kind of boosting Chloe up and saying like, you'll be fine, like you'll do great.
I love that
and
scene.
and what I've noticed is that the show is starting to put those scenes in there a little bit
think
more.
they're nice.
There's always a moment where the girls are kind of removed from the drama and you see just how positive they are and how they encourage each other to, like, you know, just do their best. If you win, you win. You know, if not, then it's totally fine. You did your best.
Yeah.
I love those moments, and I would like to see more of those.
Yeah.
They should start like a web show just for the girls.
Oh, that would
be
totally
fun.
take off.
Yeah.
Just like their thoughts about the show, their reactions to Abby, like everything is just come
The
from
dressing room
them.
moments.
Yeah.
Because removed from the show, they are so positive and such good
Cute.
friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cute.
We can see them like hanging out together and
Oh, their Instagram
Yeah.
accounts are adorable.
oh yeah, I know. Well, first of all, they are too young to have Instagram.
Well,
Someone needs to monitor
But
that.
they're on a
They're
show.
on it a lot.
Yeah.
I get it, but someone needs to monitor
And
that.
some of them do say managed by
Their
like
moms.
Nia's I think is managed by Holly.
Oh, then I know because Miss Holly doesn't play.
no, she
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah, so I know that thing is strict.
So she
Yeah.
probably has her Instagram on her phone too, Miss Holly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that
Thanks
would.
for bringing that up.
No problem. I think that would be an interesting little show.
Yeah.
That you can just, you know, it's just like online.
Little
YouTube.
5-minute show.
Yeah,
Like a little YouTube series.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a thoughts from the kids, and it just kind of like shows those tender moments with them and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that they might lose. Do you think that they would lose their ratings from the show if they actually saw that the kids getting along and everybody's like happy-go-lucky?
Well, I think as fans, we know that the kids get along. We
Right.
know that the drama really exists between the grown folks that are sitting there. Let's be real. Show wouldn't be the show if grown people were not doing things
That
that,
they-
make them look like kids.
Yeah.
It's almost like role reversal. It's like almost like the kids are the adults and the adults are kids.
Yeah. Well
Which
put.
they all seem so much more mature than their actual ages.
Yeah. Oh, those girls are the most poised, most, you know, I mean, just very nice and very like they're young, but they have a very, as we said in the South, like old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandma used
Yeah.
to use that term.
Yeah, because when I was at the booty camp and I just kind of observed them, they were always very polite to everyone. You know, they came up to me like, "Oh, it's very nice to meet you," and shook my hand, and I was just like, "Who are these little people? They should be running around and being like all crazy and stuff." But they were very obedient, very nice. You know, wherever they were supposed to be, they were.
Yeah.
Like,
They're not regular kids though. They haven't had.
They've grown up in this light.
that's true. That's true. Let's hope that at 21 we don't see Maddie on Girls Gone Wild or something.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, gosh.
No, she's got a better head on her shoulders.
She
than
does.
that.
And I think they all have very bright futures ahead. I wouldn't be surprised if Maddie ends up on Disney or something.
She's very goal oriented. I could
Yeah.
totally see Disney.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Same with
Disney.
Mackenzie though.
Yeah.
Like a Disney pop star.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
Starring in the next Disney movie,
Yeah.
Yes.
the next Frozen
Musical.
Yeah.
You know what? The next Disney execs, if you're listening, and give me credit, because then there's never been like a dancer, like story show.
Footloose.
Well, no, for kids.
Oh.
Not for kids.
Where I mean,
They could do a kids Footloose.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
There you go.
Disney.
All based, or like, you know, the story about the girl who really wants to be a dancer. And
What about those Step Up movies? What were those about?
Step Up is so good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wasn't that about?
dance.
Yeah.
I mean, just for like geared towards
Little-
Disney.
That was like
Oh.
teenage.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're more like teenagers.
Okay.
You need like a little tiny tot.
Yeah.
That's like,
They'll all definitely be doing something. Commercials,
Oh, yeah.
prints.
I wish I
everything.
started that
something.
young. I started a little bit later than life. It's okay though. All right, so let's get into these dances. Before they went out, though, Lori tried to convince Abby, dance teacher, the dance teacher, to let Mackenzie back in. And that's when we really saw Abby's poker face, like, I'm sticking with my decision.
Putting her foot down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she just blamed it all on, like, if kids would listen and they would do what they're asked.
Yeah. I think Lori was just trying to appease the other moms, though,
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted her to ask Abby, but she knew she's known Abby for a long time. She
Right.
knew Abby wasn't going to back down and,
Yeah.
go back over her choice.
Yeah. No.
She had to make an example out of poor Mackenzie.
Poor Mackenzie. That situation was still weird, but it happened. So we have the first solo, which is Jade, in her Far East solo, which as soon as she said Far East, I was like, oh, well, duh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little bit too predictable for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen something opposite, something
Well-
pushing the envelope for her.
The whole thing was like, oh, she hasn't done acro in so long.
But
how
she
many,
was
how
really
many
good.
times
Yeah.
did we hear Lori say that? Like at least 3.
Throughout the whole show.
She kept
Yeah.
saying it, yeah.
But
She
she hasn't done acro in so long. And, ooh, I don't know if she should put acro in the...
But she's like literally a contortionist
She
almost.
is.
Yeah.
I mean,
And what
She is flexible.
And what she was doing, I thought it was beautiful. It was strong. I thought the costume looked great. I thought she really held her own out there, in my opinion. I mean, was it predictable? Yeah. Could she have done something a little more out of the box? Maybe. But, I mean, look at Nia and what she usually does.
I guess that's the theme that they go with.
Yeah.
It wasn't really my favorite that I've seen on the show.
No.
I didn't really like the acrobatic
Yeah.
performance either. But
I agree with you. I don't particularly like acro routines. I think if there's a couple of tricks, 2 tricks maximum, I think it adds to the routine, but I personally don't really like acro routines. She's a beautiful girl, beautiful dancer, obviously very technical. But I felt like she just played it safe in her routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, and I've got to point out though, I think Christy, she always makes these comments about how Chloe's dance is like the throwaway dance of the week. But I liked Chloe's costume more than I liked Jade's. I thought the makeup was better. It was more elaborate. It flowed cooler.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and Chloe was doing more, of a contemporary piece. So of course she needs that very
Yeah.
flowy, so you can arms and I don't know all that. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but I thought Chloe's dance was beautiful. I thought the turn at the end though, she kind of fell out of it just a little bit. It got a little weeble wobble, but she didn't fall down. I don't know if it was noticeable to you guys, but it was right before the dance ended. She was doing
It was like right when she
a series of
stepped
turns.
out.
Yeah, and it looked like she kind of like went, ooh, and then she like went into the end, and I was like, ooh, she weeble wobbled a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the Chloe spark though.
No.
No,
There-
it's been gone for a few weeks.
It's that fire that's usually there is just not there, and I keep noticing it.
Yeah. I wanted her to come back.
Yeah.
Really want her to come back. So.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's hope so. Then we had the group dance, which I thought the group dance was amazing.
Amazing.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So good.
They work so well together, no matter what's happening or things that are going on. When they come together as a group, it is the most beautiful thing ever.
It's like their brains are all connected and they just flow together as one thought. I mean,
It's magical.
Yeah.
All the interested, like I loved when Kendall ran in and the arms went like that to
I did
like
too.
hold
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I love that.
Amazing.
And it was executed so well. And I started thinking to myself, like, yeah, you're giving these teens a run for their money right now.
I really
did.
think they should have won because when you looked at Studio Blue, those girls were not in sync together.
Yeah.
And their
yeah.
spacing
off.
was off.
Yeah.
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 I thought they might have it in the bag, actually.
Yeah.
I was a little bit surprised that they didn't take them.
Yeah. But in the end, well, first of all, when they started at 10, I was like, whoa, I don't know how this is going to, they were like, and in 10th place, I was like, oh my gosh, when they start that low, it's not a good sign.
No.
So Chloe took 6th for her solo, and Jay took 3rd, which Lori was not happy about.
No, she wasn't.
You
Not
could see
happy about
Abby
it at
wasn't
all.
either in the audience.
Well, but at the same time, you're competing against teens. To
Yeah.
get 3rd,
It's still
that's
good.
pretty good.
It's very good.
Yeah. I mean, yes, if they had been in the junior division, would things have been different? Yes.
Well, Jade is a teen
Yeah.
though. She's 15.
She's 15.
Well, then you need to be competing in teen. These are the people that you need to beat.
Yeah.
Well, I thought she still did a great job, even though she got 3rd. And then the group got 2nd, which I thought they were going to pull off 1st. I really
did too.
thought they did.
Yeah. I was surprised.
And then, that was the show. Interesting. Although, did anyone notice in Studio Blue, one of the girls, I think her name was Kaylee. She did a little guest appearance on Dance Moms a few seasons ago. I noticed that. I just wrote that down.
Okay.
And that's it about that. So let's go into news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Do we have any?
Kendall, Nia, Mackenzie, and Maddie are currently in the UK doing performances.
Yeah.
And then I saw that Chloe did the ice bucket challenge for ALS.
I saw
on
that too.
Instagram today. Her younger sister also did it as well. And the sister nominated Christy.
Oh,
So-
I would love to be the person
Yeah.
that does that. That pouring the ice over
Over her.
Christine.
That'd be awesome.
Did you
It's
guys
cute.
have you guys done the ice bucket challenge?
No.
I did it this weekend.
You did?
Yeah, a huge chunk of ice hit my head.
Oh, no.
Oh
Because-
no, are you gonna end up on the ones that fail?
Oh, I wish. No, my friend dropped the bucket on my head.
Oh,
And the ice hit me.
that's not
That's
good.
awesome that
But it
you
was fun.
did that.
Yeah,
Good.
it was a good experience.
What about you, Tony?
I did mine today
You did?
because I got nominated not once, not twice, but 3 times.
3 times. You're so popular.
No, it's not that. It's just people ran out of other people. So I only did it once, and I said like I got nominated 3 times. I wasn't gonna do it 3 times, but I did it once, and I posted it today. So
Very cool.
yeah, I did it a few hours ago.
So everyone should go donate to ALS. It's a great
Yes.
cause.
Yes. And there have been some videos now popping up of people, instead of ice water, they're chunking out money just to say donate. Rather
Yeah.
than-
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great cause. You know,
Yeah.
before this challenge, I didn't know what that was, and so I went and researched it, and
yeah.
they've raised millions.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Yeah.
the last year they only raised 5 million, and this year, last I heard, it was like up to 23 million
Wow.
that
Yeah.
they've raised. So
Sensational.
because of the ice bucket challenge and everything, so good job for everyone that's participated and donated and made awareness to this.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good job.
Now on to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz
I like the lights.
TV.
Legit.
That's crazy.
Nationals are coming.
Nationals are coming up. Let's make a prediction. Will the Abby Lee Dance Company take it home again for nationals?
Hell yes.
Oh, that was strong, Candice.
Yes. I believe in those girls. I think they're fantastic. If they have the right package, they're going to take it.
Do you think Candy Apples will be there?
I hope so.
Probably.
I hope so. I miss them. I
What
know
do
you
think,
don't.
Lexie?
I mean, I think if this mystery phenomenal dance that Abby shelved this week is as good as it actually is, then I think they have a shot.
I'm now kind of curious at how this dance will be, because now it's like, ooh, was it that good that like you had to shelve it, and now it's going to be this big reveal at nationals? Like, this is the dance I shelved back a few weeks ago. Flashback.
Yeah.
You know how they do. So do you think Abby will take it home for nationals?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I'd love to see them win.
I don't know. The show is always unpredictable, but predictable at the same time. I'm going to say that they're going to take it. They're going to sweep it. They're going to do great.
Clean sweep.
Yeah, clean sweep.
Yeah.
Clean sweep on everything.
And next week, the select ensemble's back.
Of course, because they've been away for so long. So let's see. And then Chloe looks like she goes to the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Maybe
should be some
maybe
interesting
Chloe,
shakeups.
Yeah, maybe she'll lead the select ensemble.
To win.
victory.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Watch out, Maddie. Chloe's coming through.
Yeah, Chloe's
That would
on
make
top
Christy
of the
so happy.
pyramid.
Yeah, right. So before we get out of here, because the Emmy music, as I call it, is playing, Candice, tell everyone where they can find you, like you, watch your new stuff.
All right. You can find me on Instagram at Candice Camacho, Twitter at Candice_Camacho, and I would love for you guys to check out my new web show, New Mom, New Wife, New Life on YouTube for fitness, recipes, and motherhood tips.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lexie Hammesfahr. And once I'm recovered from my wisdom teeth surgery, you can find me on YouTube at N5TV for all of your entertainment news in 5 minutes.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I like that. And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Lounging with Tony. That's LOUNGIN with Tony. Please like me. Please follow me. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or find me on my website, loungingwithtony.com. I have some great stuff coming up. Season 5 of Lounging with Tony is coming up soon. So take a look for that.
Fun.
Yeah. So, of course, everyone, thank you so much for joining us here at AFTERBUZZ TV for another reclap of your favorite dance show, Dance Moms. Thank you to my lovely, beautiful co-hosts for joining today.
My pleasure.
Of course.
Thank you. And, of course, thanks to Nick holding it down in the booth. And again, thank you guys for watching, and we will be back next Wednesday right here at 8 p.m. for another dance-tastic show.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.